Всем привет, друзья! Меня зовут Евгений, мы с вами продолжаем проходить The Cat Lady. Ну что ж, в прошлой части мы с вами остановились на том, что мы, играя за Сьюзен, пустили к себе новую квартирантку. И, в принципе, все, потом сменилось кадр. И оказалось, что в следующем кадре мы уже лежим у какого-то больного чувака. И нам выплеснули кислоту на лицо. И теперь мы играем за котеечку. И нам тут нужно с вами столкнуть клетку. Вот она разбегается, все, отлично. Столкнули клеточку. Замечательно. Так, теперь нужно убираться отсюда. Кстати, эти твари, вернее, та тварь, не знаю, бабка или кто это, питается кошками. Соответственно, нам нужно выживать. Так, что, куда? Дверь. Нужно помочь Сьюзен, наверное. Так, блин, ну появится котечка. Воу, жесть. Ну понятно, отбеливатели на лицо вылили. Да, еще жесть, конечно. Так, дыра. Что-то есть еще что-нибудь? Нет, мы ничего не можем сделать. Давайте пойдем в эту дыру запрыгнуть. Так, этот момент тут был в трейлере. Блин, котечка, конечно, на своих костылях идет. Так, побежали дальше. Жаль, что бежать не могу. Так, сейчас мы откуда-то выйдем, через какую-нибудь отдушину. Что охренеет, наверное.
Hey there, gorgeous.
Ох, какой мерзкий, конечно.
I see my old lady brought the bleach again. What a shame. I really liked your eyes. It could have been a start of something very exciting for us, if you know what I mean. She does that every single time. What do they call it? Trust issues. That's it.
Фу, какой мерзкий.
Well, never mind. Plenty more fish in the sea. I'm not too fussy, but even I have some standards. Ain't gonna touch a bird like you, I gotta be honest, girl. You look like shit. But I wouldn't want you to think I'm not a kind man. Plenty of time until dinner, and you're in pain, so I've brought something to end your suffering. Think of it as an option. I've got this gun here. It's one of my favourites. There's just one bullet in the chamber. Large caliber. You'd be long dead before you'd feel any pain. Sounds good, doesn't it? I mean, it's just an idea, you know, no pressure. Of course. You can't see it. That bleach turns your eyes to nothing but jelly.
Ну, стреляй.
So I'll just leave it for you here. Feel free to use it. That bullet's meant for you anyway.
То есть дать мне какой-то шанс, что ли?
We won't want to get caught red-handed again, would we? You naughty minx.
Ну, мог просто застрелить ее, конечно. А смотрите, оставил. Она еще как помучила, дотянулась.
What was that? You can't reach it.
Да, не могу. Не хочешь мне помочь с этим?
What did you expect? Life's a real fucker sometimes.
Ну, говнюк, конечно. Так, у нас тем временем котеечка. Такой довольно милой музычкой. Так. Я словно как на арене цирк какой-то выступая. Ключ. Глотнуть. Сглотнуть ключ. Воу. Так, тихо. Скорпировалась, чтобы не двигаться. Так. Что-то готовит там? Или что он делает? Давайте попробуем пройти аккуратно. Сейчас меня, наверное, запихнет в эту дырку. Палево. А, это двустволка, по-моему. Охренеть. Нужно аккуратно, он же пальнет сейчас. Так. И пальнет ли? Ну, давайте попробуем, конечно. Мне кажется... Так. Сейчас нужно идти. Да, блин. Я честно не знаю, конечно, но он прям досмотрел, мог и пальнуть. Все-таки они жрут кошек. Так что, хорошо, что я, наверное, не пошел. Это было сделано очень даже по-умному. Это замечательно. Так. Выплюнуть.
What? Who's this? My eyes. I can't see a thing. That bitch. A key. Who are you?
Замечательно.
Say something. Anything. I should be able to unlock the handcuffs now.
Мы сейчас будем играть в полной темноте, типа. Да, замечательно. Мы играем в полной темноте, вообще ничего не видно. Пистолет.
The gun. That idiot left his gun.
Так, взять.
No.
Что?
No, no, no. I dropped it. Where is it?
Ну, конечно,
Where
даже
the
не
hell
видит.
is it?
Пол обыскать.
I've got it.
Так, хорошо. Давайте сохранимся. Ну, в принципе, особо вариантов нету. До конца вправо пойти не могу, ничего там нету. Здесь тоже. А толк, в принципе, мы ничего не видим, ослеп даже. Выстрелить в себя.
I'm sorry, Mitzi. I have to break my promise.
Мозги наружу. You're dead. Ну и надолго, понятное дело, я же бессмертный все-таки. Это просто постер. Так, написано смерть это ничто.
Hope you don't mind creepy posters.
Да нет, все нормально.
It's your room. You can do what you like with it. But I definitely prefer this to fairies, rainbows and pink unicorns. Did you make these?
No.
Downfall написано Adventure Game.
Some of them anyway.
Слева постер их игры.
So, Miss Ashworth, I happen to have a bottle of wine in my bag. I was going to leave it to Robert, but I forgot all about it.
Robert?
The guy with the rats?
Oh, yes. Of course.
So, shall we have a drink then? We could get to know each other a bit more. I know, I promise I won't get in the way. And, I mean, you don't have to if you don't feel like it. But since we're going to live together for a little while, it won't hurt if we talk to each other, will it?
Ну, давай.
Yeah, that's okay, I guess.
Great. I'll bring the wine. Oh, damn. It's one of those bottles with a cork. Have you got a bottle
Да,
of Miss
есть,
Ashworth?
есть
In
на
the
кухне.
kitchen. I'll go get it, shall I?
Yes, please. And while you're there, could you get a couple of glasses too?
Так, ну одета у нее, конечно, свитер, как у Фредди Крюгера. Только черно-зеленый, не красно-зеленый. Так вот, за столом, думаю, за столом можно будет распить как раз. Вот сейчас нужно сначала взять штопор, принести его. Ну и, соответственно, стакан. Вот стакан, вот, черт он наденет. Чайник, микроволновка. Ну, явно не микроволновки, буфет. Взять штопор. А вот стаканы. Ну, точно не в холодильнике. Так, ладно, пойдемте. Так, нужны стаканы еще. Ну, ладно, давайте посмотрим, может быть, в ванной. Выключатель. Я понимаю, что это совершенно глупо, но черт его знает. Нет. Ну, унитазе тоже не стоит. Ну, посмотреть стоило. Проверить явно стоило. Так, шкаф. А здесь фужеры. Один для меня и один для Митси. Так, все. Теперь пойдемте к Митси.
Have you found that corkscrew yet?
Да все уже есть.
Wine glasses.
А, то есть ей нужно сразу отдать, что ли? Отдать?
There you go. Let's get that bottle opened.
Yeah, but we'll need glasses too. See if you can find some.
I found some wine glasses.
All right, that's all we need. Oh, and Miss Ashworth, I really must say this before we start.
Yeah?
I promise I won't cut your throat when you're asleep.
Very funny, Mitzi.
Oh no, I mean it.
That's fine. But just so you know, I always sleep with my eyes open.
Ну, это так сидит, не боится выпасть. Так, буква R. Хочешь поговорить? R.
So, the big C. Want to talk about it?
Well,
Ah,
to be honest,
Типа рак.
I didn't really want to tell you about it like that. I put you in a very difficult position, I know. It's just that I was really desperate to get this room. I hope you can understand. This is the last and most important thing I must do before my time is up.
It's fine. You seem alright. It's just... I find it hard to trust people these days. Maybe it's time I opened my eyes to see others have problems too. Some, like yourself, even bigger than mine. What kind of cancer is it? Do you mind me asking?
Brain tumor. The name is glioblastoma.
Huh.
Yep, they're all girls, the way I imagine it. Just look at their names. Lymphoma, melanoma, myeloma, leukemia, sarcoma. Each of them a fucking goddess of death. Beautiful and ruthless.
You might just be right about that, Mitzi. I used to be a nurse. I know a few things about cancer. And I know glioblastoma. She's a real bitch.
Yeah, and yet she gets to be the prom queen before night ends, while I disappear down the back exit.
How long?
They said I had a year. But that was 6 months ago, so... yeah. Not awfully long.
Is there anything...
They've tried.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So am I. Do you want to talk about something else?
How are you planning to find this guy?
I don't know yet. A bit of detective work, perhaps. It shouldn't be that hard, really. There are only 8 apartments here. 1 is yours. That leaves us with 7. I was hoping that you could give me a hand, actually. You know some of your neighbors, don't you?
Not many. I never really cared about them. They changed over the years, too. You probably also figured by now that this is not the sort of place where new neighbors are greeted with a freshly baked cake. You see a new face, you give them a blank stare as you pass them in the hall, and you forget about them a minute later.
That bad, eh?
Well, there's that bald guy who lives above me in flat 5. He came here recently to shout in my face. He's a nasty piece of work, but I really don't think he's the person you're looking for.
What does he do for a living?
Полностью я не перевел, слышал только 5.
I think he's a train driver.
I can't imagine somehow that my guy would be a train driver. Okay, that's good. Leaves us with just 6. Anyone else you know?
I'd have to think.
You know, maybe not tonight. Let's just talk about something else, okay? I have plenty of time. There's no need to rush this. Maybe tomorrow we could sit down together and make a plan. I could draw a simple map of the building, and with your help, mark down who lives where.
Sounds good to me, Mitzi. Oh, it's not raining anymore.
Oh well, I don't mind rain. Sometimes I even like it. But according to weather forecast, there's a nasty fog coming. Now that I'm actually scared of. I got lost in a fog once, when I was just 9 or 10. I remember I sat under a tree crying, thinking some monster would appear right in front of me and drag me away.
But now that you're a big girl, you know there are no monsters.
Yeah? How do you know?
Монстры есть, но они живут не под кроватями, а в квартирах.
The only monsters are us. Murderers, rapists, arsonists. They're the real beasts. So far from humanity, they're no longer capable of feeling compassion or guilt. They're the ones we should really be afraid of. But whether they're lurking in the woods, or fog, or the darkness of our cellars, it's all irrelevant. You can't predict what happens. You can't do anything to stop it. There is only one way. You turn into a beast yourself, and like them, you show no mercy.
Whoa! Where did that come from, Miss Ashworth?
I just don't like murderers. They're nothing but parasites. You mentioned a boyfriend. Tell me something about him.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about him. His name's Jack. He's dead.
Oh.
Miss Ashworth, are you sure you want to listen about my miserable life? I don't want to bring you down. These aren't happy stories.
And I'm not a happy stories kind of person. I'm sure you've noticed by now.
I guess so. Anyway, I suppose I would have had to tell you about Jack sooner or later. After all, he is the main reason I'm here. I just don't know where to start.
How did he take the news about your cancer?
He thought I was joking at first. He laughed. And he got really angry. I swore to him I was serious, but he still wouldn't believe me. We had a big fight that night. It was our first and only fight. It was awful. He smashed some stuff. His guitar of all things was the worst. He loved that guitar. Why did he break it? He was absolutely furious. He walked out on me that night, and when he came back the next day, he was different. Begged me to try surgery and chemotherapy. I didn't really want those things, but I did the chemo for him. It didn't help. It just made me feel sick all the time. I felt trapped in this strange place where nothing that happened around me seemed real. Maybe that's why I didn't see what my cancer was doing to Jack, and it was destroying him as well. He changed. He became obsessed with death. It seemed death was all he ever thought about, even though it was me, not him, who was supposed to die.
Jack made those pictures on your wall. Was he an artist?
He always liked all kinds of morbid stuff, whether it was music, movies, paintings. So do I, really. We had that in common, amongst other things. People say it's depressing to listen to sad songs or watch sad films, but I never felt that way.
And yet, you are scared of fog?
Oh, that's different. I might be scared of fog, but I like spiders. They're beautiful.
You must be out of your mind,
Да,
Mickey.
я тоже думаю, что я у нас сошел с ума. Как можно... Пауки, фу, ну мерзкие же. Хотя я в детстве любил смотреть на паутину, как они плетут ее. Не знаю, в какой момент я начал бояться. Но я любил наблюдать, как на паутину, когда переливается на свету. На солнышке.
Ugly took a vacation here and never went home again. How did he die? How did he die?
I'll get to that, Miss Ashworth. Let me just tell you more about him first, so you could understand what happened.
Tell me how you two met.
Oh, we knew each other for like forever. We grew up on the same street. It's funny how we seem to be made for each other. Perfect match. I always knew he was the guy for me, and I'm sure he never doubted that either. Jack was absolutely crazy about me. We thought one day we would marry, have children, be happy. I never had many friends because I had Jack. I didn't need anybody else. You know, if there's one thing I'm really grateful for in my life, it's that I got to experience this pure, perfect love. Some people go through a lifetime without knowing how it feels. I guess I've been very lucky. But all luck runs out sometimes.
How did he die? How did Jack die?
It was so distant in the last few weeks before he died. What I didn't know was that he kept looking for something. I don't think he even knew what exactly. But it eventually found him. Or rather, he found him. There are those forums online, you know, about all sorts of stuff. Fishing, computer games, horses, gambling, addictions. Everything, really. Accidentally, Jack stumbled upon one about suicide. There's a guy there. Calls himself the Eye of Adam. He's a fucking god on that forum. It's like a failed suicide club. People mostly try to help each other and offer support. Sometimes it just helps to know there are others like you. To listen to their stories and how they cope with their lives. But the Eye of Adam is an advocate of death. He dwells on human weakness. His job is to plant an idea, to give them a reason to die and tell them how to do it, once and for good. Jack took the bait. Before he knew, he was completely brainwashed. One day he sat down with me and tried to explain his perfect solution. It was the Romeo and Juliet kind of scenario. We were both to die together in each other's arms. It was supposed to be a quick and foolproof death. There was no chance we would have been saved. All thanks to the Eye of Adam, who created a tool for perfect suicide. He told me it was very simple. All we needed were 2 easily accessible household chemicals, which combined together create a gas called hydrogen sulfide that kills you within a couple of minutes. I told him he was fucking nuts, of course, but he just wouldn't give up. He reasoned with me, then he begged, and eventually just kept screaming at me. I figured it was his crazy idea of a modern romance. But it was downright tacky and just wrong. Finally, he said he would get everything ready and wait for me in our special place at dawn. 5 in the morning. Don't be late. Those were his last words he said to me. Then he stormed out. I cried for hours, thinking I didn't deserve all that from the person I loved most in the whole world. A few times I even tried to persuade myself that maybe he was right and I should do it. I just couldn't. I eventually fell asleep. I didn't plan it. My head was killing me. I was so tired. I woke up suddenly. I could see the sun rising out my window. It was nearly 5. In utter panic, I threw myself off the bed and ran out the door. I needed to stop him. I needed to get there before it was too late. But right there in my bedroom, before I even left, I already knew it was. When I arrived at our special place, it was already bright. We used to go there in the past, drink wine, sometimes smoke weed and listen to Pink Floyd, sometimes make love in Jack's car. There wasn't really anything special about that old parking lot. But to us there was. It was completely abandoned. It was quiet. It was safe. After that day I've never gone there again.
О, так мы за нее уже играем. Сейчас узнаем, что произошло все-таки с Джеком. Ну, точнее, не что произошло, это мы знаем. Уже знаем. А сейчас мы это, в принципе, увидим. Так, вот его машина. Только заклеены. Закрыт внутри дом. Газ внутри. Опасный газ. Отравляющий. Отравленный газ, по-моему.
There were signs on the car windows.
Warning signs, yeah. I found on that forum that the Eye of Adam doesn't want any accidental deaths. So we posted this poster design for people to print. It turns out there's a whole sick ideology behind it. Fumes from the car could hurt anyone who opens the door, and that's not the point. The idea is to die willingly and with clear mind, to prepare for it, to embrace it.
Jesus. You'd think the police would investigate the whole thing. Sounds almost like a sect.
This guy knows how to hide. The police can't be bothered to make an effort. It took me 3 months to track him down. Now I'm finally so close. I can almost smell that fucker.
How strong is that gas?
Extremely deadly, it turns out. It kills in minutes. It's that stinky stuff that smells like rotten eggs, you know? At high concentrations, it can knock down an elephant.
I'm so sorry. I think now I understand. He loved you so much, he couldn't bear the thought of living without you. And that guy, the Eye of Adam. I'm not surprised you want to find him. I know I would. I'm not sure if I should believe that you only want to talk to him. But hey, that's none of my business. I wouldn't know what I'd do if this happened to me.
Good to know, but I really just want to talk. I want to face Jack's killer and tell him what he's done to me. You know, the funny part is that he actually told me where he lives. He wants to meet me. Would you believe that?
How come?
Well, this kind of thing he does is called trolling on the internet. It's usually a form of extreme bullying and psychological cruelty. Those who are clever enough say, don't feed the troll. Don't talk to them. It only makes it worse if you show any interest in them at all. And Eye of Adam is no exception. He craves attention. He's a hungry troll who wants to devour as many hearts as he can get a hold of. I emailed him and told him I was a massive fan who loves his work. He wouldn't believe me at first. But trolls are always hungry, and And I was prepared to serve him a meal fit for a king.
What do you mean?
I fed him so much bullshit that he really believed I'm a suicide preacher just like him.
Great. I wish he'd given you his door number, though.
It's all a part of some sick game he's playing. Sooner or later, I'll find him.
What are those two chemical products?
Well, I'm not sure if you want to know that.
I get it. You don't want to tell me because I'm a fucking suicidal maniac. Is that it?
No, Miss Ashworth. No, I didn't mean it like that. Okay. Maybe to some extent. Just replace maniac with victim and fucking with recovering. You've only just come back from the hospital. Whatever it was that made you do it, you proved you are capable of going through with it. I don't know you long enough to tell you if you're completely over it now. And the last thing I want is to give you stupid ideas. It would be just like what the Eye of Adam does. I would never forgive myself if anything happened to you because of me. I mean, how could I?
What if I promise to you I will never do it again?
Okay. Alright. But if you don't keep your promise, Miss Ashworth, I'll find you in hell and kick your lying ass for breaking my already broken heart.
Хорошо.
You can't kick my ass when I'm dead.
I'll soon be dead too, Miss Ashworth. So, yeah, I swear I will do it.
I don't think so. You'll go to heaven, you muppet.
The recipe for this deadly cocktail is very simple. Any good housewife can make it in a blast.
Так, все. Застрелили себя и снова стали, ну, нормальные, конечно, в кавычках. Ладно, друзья, давайте на этом месте мы эту часть закончим. Надеюсь, все понравилось. С вами был Евгений. До новых встреч. Пока.